Well, morning folks, and welcome back to day 2 of the Bristol Channel trip. Back out, same spot as we were last night. Just got all the necessities on the go. Coffee's done, sausages are on, got some black pudding. Going all out this morning. Oh no, I spy with my little eye. How you doing, mate? What you got for breakfast over here then, mate? What's serving it today?
All healthy stuff, yeah?
Oh, bacon and mushrooms. A solid choice, that. Solid choice.
You think they go together?
Yeah.
Something new I've been thinking about for a while.
Oh no, bacon and mushroom is definitely the one.
I know, yeah, I love it.
The only one that beats that, bacon, beans and salad cream.
Salad cream?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to knock it.
No, you can't knock it. I think we both decided last night, by the time we got parked up, neither of us could be bothered to get up and fish this morning's tide, so we've had a chilled morning. It's what time are we at? 8:30. So the plan today is looking like we are going to go back to the low water mark and fish there this morning over low. So low water is at 12 o'clock, just gone 12 o'clock. So we're going to try and get out there for about 9:30, 10 o'clock. 2 hours down, 2 hours back, same as yesterday. And then we're going to head somewhere later on for high water. Still not sure where yet. Wayne's come up with about 6 different options so far this morning. The one thing about down here is there are so many different marks. You know, I fish the Mersey. Yeah, alright, you get slightly different marks, but relatively speaking, they're all there for the same thing. Humber, similar situation. Whereas down here, literally, I mean, we're going to go and target rays down on the low water mark. Wayne's mentioned a spot where we can target cod, conger, rays, bass. So yeah, there's endless options, which is why we're struggling to narrow it down a little bit. Because I'm torn as well between finding a comfortable mark where we can fish from the vans, or sacrificing that and going somewhere where, yeah, it might be a bit of a walk, but there's better fish. High water tonight is about 6 PM. Even if I fish it till 8, if we end up at a mark an hour up the road, I've still got a 3.5 hour drive home. So it would be good if we could get a mark where I can fish from the van. I can knock some dinner up before I set off, and then it's just a case of going home, getting in bed. So it's all to play for today. Who knows where we're going to end up at. The first mark's decided. We're going to get some breakfast in us and have a steady mooch on over there. Well, in true awful fashion, I brought all this food. I brought no cutlery and no plates or anything. So we are dishing up on a carrier bag on top of my bait box. Don't ask me where the carrier bag's come from. I do not know its history, but it looked clean, so that's what we've gone for. Well, it's no fish disco feast, but it's good enough for me. To do a bit of an intro, and my rod's gone slack, so I'm going to stick you over here. It was a good pull down. So on this rod, this is the GBFS Pro from Anyfish Anywhere. On here I've got that big pulley panel set up with 6.0 hooks on, which I was worrying was going to be a bit big. But Wayne's fishing with 6.0 and 8.0, so, and he had that lovely small eye last night. So like I say, it's a double squid wrap, this one. So it's a big bait with big hooks. So I want to make sure it gets it all the way in its mouth before I hit into it. Hopefully the footage will have come out last night. I struck into some good bites last night and missed them. So I'm going to try and be a little more patient today. What do you reckon? Patience or strike into it? Yeah, we'll just strike into it. No, I missed it. But yeah, what a difference a day makes. It's nice to actually see the mark in daylight. I can understand where we're fishing now. But yeah, we are set up. That rod's going again, look. So this rod, Anyfish Anywhere GBFS Pro. On there I've got a big pulley panel set up with a wire bite trace, because later on I want to target congers. So the other rod is the Tronixpro Competition Match HT Continental rod. Absolute banging rod. Yeah, I think there might be a small eel playing with this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You on the fish already?
Well, not yet.
Oh.
It's fishy activity though.
So what you got, this is the Bristol Channel. As you can see, it's like the Humber and the Mersey, where the tide is ripping so much it doesn't actually clear out. But if you get a bucket full of that water, like we've done, when we're changing our worms and looking after our worms, it goes crystal clear.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not been rough, and we've not had much wind, so it could be, and as you can see, it's a little bit clearer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think the rays will still be here, but hopefully
no dogs.
the dogs and the pouting. Like last night I had a pouting, we had white in. Anyway, we'll keep fishing.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, nice one. Oh, there you go. Just bang on cue, look.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's a fish running.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, is it not that weed? Oh no, it's up on top already, look.
Well done. Go gentle, right? That's the ray.
Nice one, mate. Thank you very much.
Look at that.
Oh, you said you'd put me on the fish, so.
Spotted ray.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Look at that.
Look at that hook placement as well.
Oh, mate. The difference between the spotted and most of the other ray species, these rip off.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a hand.
Hopefully that showed up in the GoPro. I had a couple of rattles earlier on.
Yeah.
And there was nothing there, and then that, well, she decided to go and she was gone.
So for people who don't know, these look like blondes, generally smaller. On a spotted ray, as you can see, they've got spots. They don't go all the way to the end, and there's some little breaks. On a blonde ray, they're consistent all the way over the fish. So, but around here, you don't really get any small blondes. If you get one, they're a double. But some people get confused. Some people go, "I've got a 9-pound spotted ray," and I'm like, "Well, that's massive."
It's a thornback, mate.
Yeah, it's a blonde. But there you go. Well done, mate. You're doing the business.
Smashing. Yeah, loving it. Just going to hold her for a second. It's hard to get her in water because then you get a swell like this. It's going to come in. Yeah, she's flapping. So I'm just going to quickly walk her out and just skate it across the top like that. There you go. Little flap and she's gone. Happy days. Right, so the question is, we've only got like a pack and a half of squid left to go between the two of us. I've just got another bite on the other rod actually. So do I carry on with squid? Keep feeding the squid until it's all gone? Oh, that's gone slack, that's gone very slack. Oh mate, it's busy. Busy, busy, busy. Busy, busy, busy. This is very, very slack. Yeah, we'll leave that one for a minute. I'll get bait back in the water. So yeah, if the rays are in, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to sand eel. We've got loads of packs of those. I'm going to just mix it up a little bit because I don't want to blaze through all the squid and find that when the tide starts to turn and come back in about an hour and a half's time, I'm all out of squid. You keep watching that rod for me because it's doing weird things. That rod's still knocking about, isn't it? Let's get this bait in the water and then we'll investigate. Alright, I'm just going to run you very quickly through the rig that I'm using. I know I showed it last night, but hopefully you can see it in a bit better light. So I've got a 7-ounce grip lead, splashdown clip, running through 80-pound main body to 100-pound swivel, then 100-pound line through to a wire trace. Like I say, I had these built to go targeting conger, and then on this end, on the important end, like I say, I've got a 6.0 and a 4.0 Shinu wire trace, and on there is just a triple sand eel. Well, I've just switched the GoPro on to come and talk to you guys, and it came up saying time lapse. So I'm not sure if all this morning's footage has been done completely in time lapse, which will be a kicker, because so far I've had a really nice little spotted ray, a couple of cracking bites. Hopefully I've got the footage, and I won't even need to put this bit in, but one of the joys of YouTube in your fishing sessions is little stresses like that. So we've been fishing for about half an hour or so now. Like I say, I've had that one small spotted. We don't seem to be getting pestered like we were last night with those little rattly bites and dogfish all the time, so which is a good sign. So I'm sure a few of you are wondering how the Tronixpro competition match HT compares to the Achios Fury Continental rods that I'm used to fishing with. It's a cracking rod, stunning rod, really nice and stiff, springy. It's got a lot more backbone to it than the Fury has. Wayne was responsible for some of the development of it. He was telling me you can full pendulum cast. You can't do that with the Furies because they haven't got the backbone. But at the same time, price point wise, I think when the competition match HT was released, it was like a 600 quid rod. So in comparison, that's sort of like century money. So you'd expect it to be a really good quality rod. Competition match HT is a cracking rod, but like I say, they are completely different price points. It's like comparing a Fiesta to a Ferrari. I might be a bit unfair on the Furies, but they're intended to be a budget range rod. I think their RRP is about 150 quid on the Furies, and there are plenty of deals out there for real combos and stuff like that. So, you know, for under 200 quid you can get a setup that's very, very capable. If you want to go to the other end of the scale, perfect rod for you. I'll put some footage in now, me loading the competition match up. Now, like I say, I'm no massive power caster, I don't pendulum cast or anything like that. It's a simple over the head, overarm thump, and it loads up really nice. And just for comparison, I'll put a back-to-back now of me fishing with a similar setup on the Humber the other week when I caught that cod with the Achios Furies. So that just goes to show you, fishing with a similar weight, similar baits, how the two rods load up comparatively. But yeah, both cracking rods in their own price points. Between me and you, I was looking for a more powerful rod. It would be nice to try out a couple. Love the Furies, love the power tips. GBFS Pros are a really nice rod. They load up quite nicely, I'll show you that now as well. But when camping in the van, it is cramped. The GBFS Pros have to go diagonally across the van, so they just get in the way. Whereas the Continental rods more suit my mode of transport, if you like. They can go across the back seat of a car, they can go in a short wheelbase connect and lie straight down the cab. So yeah, whereas maybe I was going to look at more two-piece rods for next season, maybe I'm shifting back towards Continentals. Let me know in the comments, what rods do you fish with, what rods do you recommend, what rods have you tried and you don't recommend, because there's certainly a big market. I think if you opened a tackle shop where you could actually go and trial rods and find one that suits you, because everybody casts differently, everybody's an individual. A rod is almost as personal as the spots on your arse as far as I'm concerned. Everybody has a different style. I could cast exactly the same way as you, but me being 6'4" and 19, 20 stone will cast it differently to somebody who's, you know, 6'1" and 13 stone wet through. But for me, with my size, my strength and weight, that's not big-headed, but I can muscle a bait. But at the same time, because I'm not a fast caster, I do rely on a rod that's got a bit of whip to it. So yeah, I do think there's a massive market for a tackle shop that allows you to come and trial rods, but maybe then they wouldn't sell as many because you'd buy the right one first time. Well, the whiting are back on the feed again. Unfortunately for this little guy, he was deep hooked, and it was highly unlikely he was going to go back and live any quality of life, so he's going to be sitting on a conger rig later on tonight. Well, I was just watching Wayne cast that new next bait out. I've just had a decent knock on this left hand rod, the rod closest to me, which I have just cast out. So I don't know if you'll hear it because I am mic'd up. Hopefully the mics are working, that being said. But the wind has really picked up, it's howling a gale. If I turn this way, you might hear it, hopefully not. That's what I bought the mics for. That's gone slack, hasn't it? That's gone very slack. Oh. Yeah, so the wind's picked up. It's completely changed direction from when we first set up. So when we first set up, it was blowing up the beach. Now it's blowing down the beach, or up the channel, should I say. The tide's on the turn, so the tide is on the way in. There are some big sets rolling in, because obviously we've got tide with the wind now, which is just helping pick everything up. Baits, I've just recasted, so again, on the loop rig, I'm sticking with worm baits on there. Whiting have come on the feed. I've just missed a really good bite, actually. Possibly one of them roided up baby dogfish. As Wayne says previously, the peak time for this venue is on the flood. So with the tide changing, fresh baits out, hopefully we stand a good chance. I'm still hopeful we're going to get into a small-eyed or a blonde ray. And if I can get a blonde, that means between me and Wayne we've got all three. Thornbacks, I'm told, are fairly scarce down this end of the channel. I mean, purely from a selfish point of view, I'd love to catch a small-eyed and a blonde all on my own. But this is a team sport. We're down here fishing with Wayne. Like I say, this is Wayne's back garden. He loves it. He knows the spots. We've already changed venue 4 times this afternoon. I think we've finally settled now on where we're going to fish. So I'm looking forward to that one. But hopefully we've got a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours still on this mark. Hopefully we can get into a few more rays. Well folks, we're about an hour into the flood, so I'm going to put these big baits out, probably the last set that I put out there. So I just thought I'd bring you and show you how I'm baiting up. So this is a double squid setup, obviously 2 squid. I put them top and tail. You can put them both the same way if you want, either or. Essentially I loaded them up onto there. I'm going to take the bottom hook of my Pennel setup, and on this one, so this one's slightly different because it's on a wire setup. That top hook is actually just crimped in place. So what I do is I just nick that through roughly where you want it to sit, and then pull the squid down and onto it. And then because I'm doing this cack-handed, what I do is just push those squid up, pull your rig tight. You'll notice I'm using my backup elastic because coming out in my wet weather gear, I left my elastic, my normal elastic, in my IMAX smock. So all you do is go to town now. This is why I don't use this elastic anymore. It's the super fine stuff, it just snaps. Here's a question for you, right? Why is it when you're elasticating up, your elastic will snap if the wind's too strong, but then when you try and get it off your hook after it's been in the water, but when you're trying to get it off, like trying to get a puppy off the remote, just work my way down a couple more turns, make sure that we're nice and tight, nice and streamlined. There we go, snap, so that'll do. And as I do from here, oh shit, my other rod's gone slack as anything. Right, I'm going to go and look at that, but essentially that is your bait done. Double squid set up on the big wire rig. I mean, you'll have all seen pulley setups by now, but that is 2 squid, 7-ounce lead on a big flowing pulley rig. Let's get it sent. Well, that is just pure greed. That was 3 ragworm and the world's smallest little whiting. Interesting colours though, I've never noticed a black tip on a tail like that. What you got there then, mate?
I've got blanket.
A blank beater.
Look at that, that's a pretty dogfish.
Yeah.
I'm actually scraping the barrel now. That's a good dogfish.
It's a good
It's
dogfish.
really pretty though.
Yeah. I do think they are. Like the eyes on them.
Yeah, look, it's got green eyes.
Yeah. You look right into the
I'm
soul.
not blanking.
Well done, mate. Well done. Keep at it. We've still got time yet.
Yeah.
Ah. You can always rely on the doggies, can't you? You took that in front of my rods for a reason. So as much as we slate them at times, last night the dogfish were absolutely relentless. Your baits were in the water more than 30 seconds before they were getting absolutely smashed by doggies. But today, on a day that's been fairly slow, they're a welcome blank beater. Well, I think we've just about seen all 4 seasons today, weather-wise. The tide has now pushed us almost all the way back up. We're up and in amongst the boulders. So far, in the odd whiting, my spotted ray earlier. It's been a slow day. It's been a slow day. The wind is biting. The rain's coming on again. In fact, I don't know if you'll be able to see behind me. We're about to get absolutely soaked. So I think we're going to call it quits. I'm going to have a steady pack up. I'm going to bring the loop rig in first, give us every opportunity to snare that last ray. We're going to head back to the vans, get something warm inside us, and I mean food. We're going to get ourselves set up somewhere out the back of the van, nice and comfortable for the second session of the day. And until then, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves and tight lines.